Reed had one of the top score out of the team, right? Reed had the top score of the team.
I saw one of the two race fans.
If you hadn't been here, I'd have called. I'd have come over to your door and got you.
Maybe, I tried finding it. I saw Easton score, but then I thought Reed
Wednesday
was
rules, I
less
find
than
to be here, so do you.
but maybe he wasn't all the way.
Like 12th.
I found it once and then I couldn't find it again. Where you could go and find the individual scores.
No, Justin said I get to go with him at 7 and you have to continue the meeting. Uh-huh. No. Julian invited me, that's the important one. You don't get to go. We're gonna fight over who gets to go with you at 7. Casey's gonna finish the meeting and I'll go with you. You're grounded?
I did, yeah.
I sent Carrie a text, I said, see you at 7. She doesn't answer me yet. Maybe she tried to find off like she said she was going to.
She might have.
All right, thanks. Hey Frank, good seeing you. Been having fun?
Well, been all over the place.
Yeah.
Our housing prices.
That's right.
Now I go back to Hawaii and see what the starts.
Oh, yeah.
Turn the recording on before I forget. You're just sitting on shorts.
Yeah.
It probably is.
Yeah. He needs hard to get over our shorts. I was reading a little thing about a tornado.
My son had already made my birthday. American flag.
Hey, I'm looking at them.
That's what I got in the mail the other day. Had your card off TikTok, so I just bought it for you. Happy birthday.
And we actually put on phone, so all of his years by what she said. He would put a brand new house, brand new employees up there. Footlights, all the employees. High voltage,
They're supposed to get back then.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he built his ranches.
So many miles
There
wide.
was one guy on each ranch, all he did was
All that
take
kind of
care
stuff.
of
I thought, wow, I never read. I forgot that.
They bought one of my coworkers that was their family had a huge ranch in town. Almost 7 sections.
The neighbors were not home.
About your coffee.
I was gonna go try to revive.
Stuff.
This was
Cody told me about it.
guys.
So I walked back there before, see if she maybe found it. I figured if she found it, she'd look. I don't think she had to look.
I haven't find, looking for the front one, I think you just measured off the back to the back.
And they.
So I just, can't find that one.
I know she was back behind the fence the other day, but she had the little girl there, so.
It's not money.
Massive problem is.
Hey, Mylan, how are you?
A lot of tax dollars.
Sounds like you got a lot to go home and look at.
Dad said he and
So this is home, but whatever you call it, the second home, or whatever.
the guy before Matt put the fence up. So they found that and like made it above ground. So they could see it. His dad was talking about doing things too. But there's nothing. What Dad's telling me and what I'm seeing is completely
Two different things.
ain't nothing there.
You know, there's meds that cause not have a good sin, right?
No,
What?
you know, there's this.
Meds sometimes change how the brain works.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of grew up with that.
She said she would be.
Hey, girl.
It's more guests than I've written in a while.
Doggy flippers.
Let those people come in.
Huh?
Doggy flippers.
Hello? Table.
It's very summery. They got
An
most of his
application?
jobs off.
Crazy.
Talking into.
Oh, you mean for Joe? Dad? Yes, I can text you that. Yep. Bye.
All right, it's 6 p.m., May 27th, 2026, Village of Sutherland, Lincoln County, Sutherland, Nebraska, Board of Trustees, regular meeting, and a public hearing will be held at 6:15. Roll call, please.
Scott Meyer?
Here.
Kim Backer?
Here.
Alicia Patrick is absent. Derek Dempsey?
Here.
Justin Nelms?
Here.
Quorum established.
Pledge of allegiance, please.
Pledge
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Notification of the open meeting law posters on the west wall. Proper procedure for guests. If you have a question or comment, raise your hand. We'll call upon you and take it from there.
And I wanted to clarify that I will be needing to leave the meeting early.
Very good. Thank you. So to open up with, the board will hear comments at this time. All comments need to be directed to the chair. There will be a 5-minute time limit. There will be no discussion by the board on comments by the public that are not on the agenda. Is there any public comment tonight of that sort? All right, we'll continue on. We have an agenda provided. I would entertain a motion on approval of the agenda. Motion Backer?
Second.
Second Dempsey?
Justin Nelms?
Yes.
Alicia is absent. Scott Meyer?
Yes.
Kim Backer?
Yes.
Derek Dempsey?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Alicia is here. So next thing on our list is to read and approve the minutes for May 27th, 2026 regular meeting. Is there any additions or corrections? Motion Backer? Second. Second Nelms?
Scott Meyer?
Yes.
Derek Dempsey?
Yes.
Alicia Patrick?
Yes.
Justin Nelms?
Yes.
Kim Backer?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Sheriff's report is provided. We have had 81 calls for service, 2 traffic, 6 village code violations, including barking dogs, parking traffic, parking violation, dog bites, and another barking dog. Village hours are 95.5. Last month to date was 753. Year to date is 848 and a half on a yearly 1,200 hour contract.
Do you have any notes on the dog bites where they previously won or any of that? Does anybody know?
It was a first time they got a warning, had all rabies shots. They were registered with the village.
That's what I need to do.
Just for my purpose, were any citations actually issued for these all?
No skin was broken from what the sheriff
On
said.
the 6 in front of us, were they actually issued, do you know? 'Cause I haven't received anything as far.
Not that I know of.
Okay.
Can
I
we
know-
follow up on that?
I can. I know the dog bite. When the sheriff came in, he said it was no skin was broken. Couple little red marks, so he was not writing a citation for that one. I know.
And maybe these were all warnings, I just want to make sure I'm not.
Yep, we'll follow up.
Do you know if, not the dog bite, but the other dogs, were any of those ones that we've offers to?
I believe they are all three for the same resident, that has come in several times. And we've had several calls on that dogs seem to barking, all hours of the night. I know at least two of them were.
See, we can't send a letter on a dog park, that's between them and law. We have nothing to do. So, correct.
Yeah, so that's a violation, so, if they were given an actual citation, I don't know.
Unfinished business, property on Walnut Street, nothing at this time there. Did we have another one that we needed to go on Walnut Street? Actually, we will, we'll discuss that in executive session at the end of our meeting. Sewer lagoon.
We're putting water in it as we speak. I believe the fence probably got done today, so that part of the project should be done. And then the second part of it, pumps and electrical panel and that will be this fall.
Okay. All right, and Frank, please, we have a discussion on accounts in front of us. Mr. Frank. Thank you.
Well, a while back, it's been a while, I was here concerned with the village spending a lot of money and not watching it. And then you guys decided to issue a sewer bond, which I said the sewer should have close to $1 million in cash. That's when the chairman said that they did not have $1 million in cash, and they came back with previous year's audit to show that. You said things have changed since then. So when we just got this last audit, which is this handout, if you look at the last page, page 14, under sewer, the cash should be $971,000.
So one thing on that, just, I believe, and I would have to check with Bob or Tiffany or Bonnie, but the sewer bond was paid, the current bond that they have was paid out of the general for
I believe 5
5 years, I believe. And I don't know if the sewer has reimbursed for that or not.
Not yet, no.
Not yet.
But you don't understand funds accounting. If you look at each audit for that year, it was taken out of sewer because the funds were commingled in general.
But the sewer never paid the general back for the amount of checks that it was writing.
Because the proceeds from the consumers that you collect from the sewer was going into the general fund.
No, they were going into the sewer account. When did we open up transfer the sewer accounts into the general?
September, so right before the
Right
end
before
of the
that.
fiscal year. Before that, it was the utility rate increase, water and sewer, a portion of it was going into the bank in Hershey State Bank. That was supposed to be, my understanding was that was supposed to be where the bond funds would come from to pay the bond. And they were not, so when we transferred that, I'm gonna say like $800,000 over into the general, that did not, I mean, that was money that was not used to pay those 5 years worth of bonds that should have been. And some of them came out before that, some came out after that, but there were 4 or 5 years in this middle that the sewer bond came out of the general account.
The fund accounting is funds, it's not checking accounts. So that's why you look at each audit, and each audit shows so much for the bond payments. out of sewer. I didn't print off the whole audit,
Mhm.
but that's how it's felt each year. Because the funds have always kind of commingled. So at September 30th, 2025, the sewer should have $971,000 in cash. Now, to figure what it should be now, I went into the office yesterday to try to get a year-to-date profit and loss statements that we used to get at our meetings to see how much income and expenses of each department was, and then you could add or subtract from that figure to see kind of where you should be. Now, Tiffany told me that she cannot do anything without board approval. So I said, well, just show Bonnie how to do it, because in the past, it just took a click, 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 and it spitted it out. And then Bonnie said she was not doing those reports and was not required to do those reports.
So I don't know, I know we've looked at those at budget time. Typically, we have those so we can project what we're gonna have the last 2 or 3 months. But I don't know that the last while have had those, I guess.
We hadn't before we went into that new accounting program that was a flop. When it was
So
QuickBooks.
that was 4 years ago, probably.
I don't know.
That was when we had
Switched over to
G-Works.
G-Works with the full fund accounting, shortly after I started here, February of 2003.
Yep, so
Because when it was
2003
on
would have been the last
QuickBooks,
time.
Tiffany could just hit a few buttons and with her field range and it would spit it out. So you could look at the top and see the departments, look at the bottom each month and see if how much money they're losing or how much money they're making. So being fiscal responsibility, I think you guys should be looking at that each month to see how the departments are doing.
Can I add some input to that? It's not just a click of the button. The way you put it in there has to be put in there correctly for that report to pull correctly. And since we haven't been using that, it hasn't been reviewed to make sure that is showing correctly up on that report. So it does take more time to get it correct in there so you can click a button.
I just know from past experience when I was on the board, it wasn't like it came in and you went on the computer, clicked it, and off it was printed. So pre-work, I have no idea. Maybe there's problem with bookkeeping. But also what surprised me is if you look on page 9, general funds is where you have income coming in from different sources other than your revenue generating accounts like sewer, water, and sanitation. So generally you can see we pulled in over $1 million in income. That's including property taxes, MPPD money, all that stuff. Then you have your expenses, but like on page 9, operating income, the general spent $130,000 more than I brought in. So that should be also concerning. So like with the sewer, the balance of October 1st of 2025 should have been $971,000. Now you got $260,000 in the sewer checking account, so that means it's short about $700,000.
And with that 700,000, be real close to the amount of bonds that have been paid by the general for the sewer. Is it? I don't know.
No, because like I said, each audit shows the bonds being paid from the sewer fund. Now, the money came out of general because the income was going into general. But fund accounting, I guess you're having trouble understanding the funds. It's not checking accounts.
But you're also looking at this capital outlay, the payments and stuff as an operating expense, and it is cash outflow, but that was on previous debts that are just making the payments on those previous equipment or previous projects. So roughly 320,000 of those were payments made on bonds or, capital improvements, the capital outlay.
What,
On page 9, the debt service. So it is a cash outlay, but it's for previous projects or improvements or equipment that does increase a value.
true, that's a capital outlay, that doesn't mean it's the bond payments.
Well,
Now,
that debt service, principal and interest, those are bond payments.
So Frank, can I pause for 1 second? I have to open a public hearing and we'll continue.
Okay.
So it is May 27th, 2026, 6:15 PM. Public hearing regarding shipping containers. All members are present. We've already went over the notification of open meeting law poster. First item, discussion action on shipping container setbacks and classifications along with ordinance 689. Public hearing is open. Is there any public question, comment on the shipping containers at this time?
So, to my understanding, ordinance number 689 is to allow a shipping container on a separate lot with no other structures.
Yes, I believe
Okay.
so.
And that is all it's allowing.
The last sentence,
That's what I'm asking for clarification.
yes, so the last sentence in section 2, first paragraph.
Mhm.
It is allowable for one shipping container to be placed on a non-contiguous lot as long as said shipping container meets all setbacks and all other requirements for a shipping container. That is the change in the recommendation from planning.
Okay, and this is just dealing with shipping containers only, not accessory structures.
So this would just modify your rules as to the shipping container.
Yeah, because right as now, no accessory structure can be placed on a lot without a living quarters in it or a house assembled to it.
Correct, this is specific
Yeah,
to
I'm just-
shipping containers.
This isn't allowing you to use a shipping container in your yard as a,
Not necessarily like a lot behind you. I'm trying to find an example.
The church's lot behind there?
Or the church's
Like the
lot.
Catholic
so they wanna be able to put a shipping container
If-
in that empty,
In the empty
In the
lot, if
empty
that's
lot.
what this was, this whole
but
public.
nobody else can do that in their yard. instead of
Nobody
a
else
shed.
can place.
You can have a shipping container
You
in
can place a
in
shipping
your yard if you'd
container in
like.
your
You
yard.
just get the shipping container.
This just allows,
As a permanent structure in place of a shed? I thought that's what Tori said you couldn't.
No, shipping containers are allowed. You just have to get a permit and put your shipping container.
and then you have to put it on a foundation or
cement pad.
skirting around it. There's reasons for it, but the problem I have with this is somebody's gonna say, why is a shipping container allowed and I cannot put a garage or a shed back there? My question. Yes.
So this would be like the empty lot across from Mike Dillard's, where he has his
Yes.
stuff. He could just stick a shipping
He
container.
could put a
The
shipping container there.
as long as it meets all the setbacks and property, yeah. But he wouldn't be able to put a shed or a garage.
He could put a shed or garage there if he
Puts
has
water
living
in it.
quarters
Living
with
quarters
water. And so-
Yeah.
That's, I believe, how the regulation was.
Well, I believe the ordinance just simply states sewer and water, so you have to have a toilet and a sink.
Sewer and water required per structure. So, but ultimately, that's what the planning and zoning forwarded to the board. And they had no opinion, yes or no, at their public hearing, their last meeting.
And I know one thing that the planning commission did look into, shipping containers, it specifically states cannot be used as living quarters. You cannot live in them at all. They're not classified as an accessory structure. They were kind of in a gray area. But where it does state there that you cannot live in them, we couldn't have the requirement for water and sewer to be run to them was, I know, part of the issue that they ran into. It's why it took them so long to look over all of this.
The other comment that was brought to me was if the people that brought the comments to me said they were not aware of a public hearing. They said they never saw it published on Facebook on the village's site. And I said it was probably published in the 3 normal spaces, the bank, the office, and the library.
Bank,
Post
office, library, post office. We post it in 4 places. The 3 specified are the bank, library, and post office.
Because they said that usually when something of a concern comes up, it should be posted, you know, more than somewhere. Where you don't have to drive by and get out of your vehicle and look to see what the devil's going on. They want it right here.
Well, you think they'd be here tonight if they were concerned about it?
Unfortunately, the 2 people that are working nights up to the power plant.
And if the board would like us to start posting
We can go to
public
that.
hearings or anything
Yeah.
like that on Facebook, we can.
I'm just going through,
Like he said, the legal requirements have been met on that side of it.
and that's what I said, legal requirements would have been there. But
Is there any other discussion at this time on the shipping containers? So we go ahead and leave it open if there's not, and then we'll revisit it here in a little bit. Frank and Tiffany, you guys were discussing the capital outlay when I opened up the meeting. You 2 would like to continue on that?
Well, in the regular audit, it shows the loan and bond payment, principal, and interest. I don't have it on the handout of the pages I did, but in the original audit on page 13, under water, sewer, and sanitation, there's a line item that says cash paid for loan principal and cash paid for interest. So he is deducting those bond payments out of those departments. To the second paragraph down. And I think if you look at each audit for the previous years, he's pulled it out that way, because you have to deduct those bonds out of those departments.
So I guess,
That would be a question for Bob,
Bob.
because I don't have the full
Okay.
audit to see what, and it may be included in the summary on page 14 that I'm not
promise
seeing.
uses, or you'd rather him, okay.
so I guess, would it be best to have Bob come up so you can talk to Bob?
That's
I don't-
fine, it's kind of hit and miss when I'm back.
Yeah, I mean, we just got the 1 audit finished, so I mean, if you.
Unless you can authorize me to talk to Bob sometime when I'm back.
I think we probably should have a work session if we're gonna do that. Then any of the board members that wanna come in to see how we can break this down and figure it out, then everybody, we all learn from it, right? I'm not questioning or
No.
doubting you. We all would like to probably learn from it too, if we're gonna go through the process. Is that fair?
Yep.
Okay.
But I still want to stress the importance of that year-to-date profit and loss from each department, so you keep an eye on it, because if you start getting that negative deal at the bottom, you need to look out, where's that money going to?
Okay.
Because like I said, I was surprised that the general loss, spent more, $130,000 more than it took in.
All right. I guess, Frank, if you would, either send me a message, the dates that might work for you, when you'd be around, and then we can try to line it up with Bob. It may be hard to schedule him right away, but
Yeah,
the next month, 2 months away, if you would, just let the office or myself know, we'll try to schedule Bob for a work session.
I just wanted to press the importance of the audit, because that shows the true picture of everything.
Did anybody have any questions or other discussion on this right now? Okay. Go ahead, Frank.
What's the problem with me coming in for asking for financial records?
There's not, but I don't think it would be proper use of tax dollars to make special reports for one person. Now, if it was a report that we use every meeting, that's one thing. But to have somebody or a subcontractor create special reports on the village's account might not be the best option. That's my thought on that. If it's something we have normally, by all means, it's public record, but to create a special spreadsheet, is that public record?
That's not, it's just a report.
Or a report?
But under public records, there's no requirement for any public entity to create documents. And if they don't exist, there's no obligation. Now, for once they've created, that's one thing, but there's no obligation to create any special.
So we know that they'll get all the public records they can for you, and we'll work with Bob to get a set down and a meeting scheduled for that and go through it all. You good with everybody? Okay. Next item, so we will, can we take that off the agenda, Frank, until we schedule a work session, or you want to leave it
Okay.
on?
That's fine.
Okay. Park and pool picnic tables.
They just left on there from last meeting.
Julie Beardsley, did she reach out to you? She reached out to me about, she would like the option for the golf course to, in the camping area to be able to buy the old ones. When it comes down to that.
I think there's a liability issue doing it that because somebody could cut themselves real bad on them.
Even surplus.
Surplus and go to open for anybody to bid on.
Right,
Yeah.
Okay.
Bid and they can scrap it. For all,
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
as long as
yeah.
we give them an opportunity to review what they.
But if there is tables that are beyond repair or not usable, they probably would need to be destroyed or
You can
still offer as
You
public.
can still offer them. I don't know if they have
Yeah,
any value or not.
and we
Then
lose-
determine.
Yeah, we lose our responsibility of what happens to them, whether they, yeah.
So yeah, that would be an option then.
Okay.
Did you say?
At this time, Scott, without the replenishment of the cleanup funds, and we're not in dire need of, I know, Casey, some of them are old and some of them, but they're not in dire need of them until we get the replenishment of that cleanup fund. I mean, that's my personal opinion. But take it with a grain of salt.
Would we like to move forward with this, or do you guys want to wait for a while? Revisit this, what would the board like to do? I think they were roughly $1,200 a table,
12 to 14.
$1,200 to $1,400 a table. I think if I remember right from the last one.
I had thought we were gonna put in for that grant money with the, not the grant money, but the CARC money for them, and
We put in for the bathroom.
I thought we also discussed the picnic tables on that,
I don't remember on that.
but I just,
Muriel?
I have had a conversation with Casey about that, but I haven't gotten him the application yet to
Okay. So I guess, well, is the board, I would like to have a vote, could we table this till next meeting? Do we have another discussion on it? Would that be? Okay. So I'd entertain a motion to table this until the next meeting.
So moved.
Motion back. Second Patrick.
Felicia Patrick,
Yes.
Kim Backer,
Yes.
Justin Nelms,
Yes.
Derek Dempsey,
Yes.
Scott Meyer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Do you want, to make any additional comments? And then you close.
So back on our public hearing regarding shipping containers. Is there any additional comments at this time on the shipping containers and public hearing? I hear no additional comments on the shipping containers at the public hearing. Okay, so ordinance 689, Bob, if we could do first reading, please.
Ordinance number 689, an ordinance of the Village of Sutherland, Lincoln County, Nebraska, to amend the regulations of shipping container of the Planning and Zoning Regulations as recommended by the Planning Commission, to repeal all other ordinances and resolutions or parts thereof in conflict, to provide that the provisions of this ordinance shall be made a part of the code of the Village of Sutherland, and to provide when this ordinance shall be in full force and effect.
That is the first reading of ordinance 689. Is there anything else on this? Okay. So with that, we have to have 3 readings. So hearing nothing more, this will go on to our next board meeting for the second reading. Ordinance 689. So it is 6:31, we can close the public hearing on shipping containers. Accept and reject bids for Anchor Park restroom.
And we will that to after we discuss new business.
Yes. We will adjust the schedule as recommended. Next item would be discussion and action on ordinances to be updated in the crime commission system.
And I know Justin had offered to come in and help us go through some of that. Haley and I have gone through a few. We're kind of seeking direction from the board on, do we want to make a list of those that are a little more minor that Rory said could be waiverable? How do we want to prioritize that so we can get that list built? Because otherwise we go through and we can write down everything that has a fine of some sort attached to it. There's an awful lot of them.
And I think if I may,
Yes, please.
where law enforcement was coming from, is there's a cost. I mean, if we actually have to prosecute ordinance violations, that money does not come back. Any fines, it does not come
Goes
back.
to the school or something.
And it does not cover a prosecutor's expense.
Yeah. But then, why do we have them? Well, that's why, I mean, there's certain things you guys have said over the years, dogs at large, I mean, that's something you're willing to prosecute. These other things, I don't know, I mean, that's ultimately what you have to decide.
We should probably have that priority instead of keep postponing it and get it done. Because otherwise, I mean, we can't complain about the sheriff, the people not getting it on the list and then not making a priority ourselves.
First thing. Would it be possible, do you have a printout, Bonnie, of all of the fines tied to what ordinance it would go to? So then each board member could go through it and then we could meet at our next meeting to hash that out.
I can get those. We've just been marking them in the ordinance book, which ones are a little more severe. So discharging of firearm things, but I don't know. I'm assuming a lot of those have state statutes attached to it. So
And that I can help you with. I mean, once you kind of prioritize, I can go through and say, okay, you really
Okay.
don't need to do that because there is a state statute that the county attorney will prosecute. So I can help with that piece, but I, like Bonnie, need to kind of know what to prioritize.
I can print off the order, or the ordinances are online if somebody, if you wanted to go look at them. If you go to the Village of Sutherland website, there is a page that has the ordinances and it takes you to the American Legal Publishing site. And they are all listed in there, clickable links to whatever fine is attached to it that could be gone through. Or I mean, we can obviously print some off. You can take one of the code books home if you'd like. I think we have 3 more in the office if somebody wants to go through that book.
My chaos is over this last week, so I can come up here almost daily and go through that stuff too.
If we can get a copy that somebody could highlight, like, you know, these are the ones that everybody feels that they're priorities, the dog bite ones. And then,
I can do that.
Give everybody a different colored highlighter.
yeah,
When you see 5 colors on it, it's a good idea to discuss that one more, so.
Absolutely. I can get those printed up tomorrow. So.
People have time to stop in, check it out, see what you think. So leave this on next agenda as well. New business, discussion and action on positive recommendations from the CARC. Recommend approval of an internal application, Anchor Park restrooms for $50,000. Muriel.
Well, that pretty much explains itself, but the CARC met last week and I put an application before them for an internal project up to the 108,000 shortfall, and what they recommended was 50,000 of the economic development money to be earmarked for that.
So how much is from the grant?
So the initial grant was 100,000, is that correct, Marie?
The initial grant was 100,000.
And then this is another 50,000. And we had a $208,000 project.
2086.
Okay, 2086 was the low bid. So it would be 58,600 difference with the grant monies that have been offered at this point. So basically, as a board, we need to, the proper thing probably would be to accept or reject this. Is that correct, Mr. Roundtree?
Well, ultimately, accept or reject the 50,000 or the project, because I think they kind of go hand in hand.
Hand in hand, yes. So
I don't think we're gonna get a bathroom out there for less than $58,000. Unfortunately, 59,000. God forbid he runs into anything that's over and above. But there is a balance of accounts there. Keno has absolutely no money in it until we get reimbursed. As Frank pointed out, the general is extremely underwater.
My other concern would be, if we have a bond to pay off, and how are we gonna, how do you put that out to people and say, for the sewer, for the lagoon? Are you gonna put that back on the community, but we're gonna spend money on the bathroom versus paying a bond bill? That would be like at my house, I should pay my bill before I buy my bathroom.
could infrastructure money be used for that? For this, the bathroom?
Right, that's what I'm.
Because
wondering where
infrastructure
we're gonna
money
get-
can be used to, like the sewer expansion we're doing. We could potentially utilize infrastructure money to upfront pay a big portion of that down
Right.
and only bond a smaller percentage. Same thing with the bathroom, it could possibly be used for that.
I mean, it's the park improvement, it is, infrastructure insofar as, yeah, park improvements is generally allowed, so that's up to you.
Frank?
Well, the infrastructure was sold to help with the streets because they're not a revenue generating department where water, sewer, and sanitation is. And we've always talked about that Pine project. It's gonna be $2 to $3 million for the storm drain expansion. And so, you know, you don't wanna keep spending the infrastructure money that you might need down the road to that project.
And my other question would be, if we spend $50,000 on a survey around for,
They're spending it, we are not.
but they're spending another 50,000 for the bathrooms, correct? But we are spending that because I shop
Right, it
in
is.
town.
Yeah.
Right, I mean, that in essence is everybody's tax money, so, like, are we? Is there a lot of projects potentially out there? I'm just asking.
Well, Laura, for
Kind of a broad
clarification,
spectrum.
you can chime in on this. My understanding is that 1/2 of the funds that we collect within the first 5 years have to be spent, or we potentially lose the ability to collect the funds. And as of now, I mean, we've helped a lot around town with the sidewalks, the different facade improvements. We're going into, this is our 4th year of collection right now. We are still not at that level. So there comes a point when
We
have
haven't
to.
spent half, you're saying.
Correct.
Okay.
And honestly, without looking into that, I can't answer that all. I don't have it. So
I guess ultimately the board needs to decide if we want to move forward with this project, or if we would like to not do the project and turn the grant funds back, so somebody else can utilize it. Milo?
I think it'd be wise if you separated them, decide whether or not you're going to accept the offer from CARC or not, and then decide whether or not you're going to approve the contract for doing, because you've already separately gone through the process of accepting $100,000 worth of grant funds from the Honey estate. I don't think, somebody I think mentioned, well, let's just consider it as all the same thing. Well, I don't think it is. I think you decide if you're going to be willing to or not be willing to accept the CRC money to go to it, if you decide to go ahead with the contract on that.
Valid point. I guess myself, when I look at it, we've asked for money from other places to do a project. I hate to ask somebody for money and then turn around, now we're not gonna do it. I mean, if that was the case, we should have never started this project, I guess. I know the bids came in higher than what anybody thought, but everything's expensive right now.
And as far as to address them, separating them, you know, we have issues with business owners frequently that have applied for funding from us, and then something comes up and they don't follow through with the project. So if you were to accept the grant or the CARC money and then not, you know, reject the bids, there's no issue with that at all. I mean, that's just the way it's done.
So I guess first thing in front of us, and we're discussing it, we have been offered a $50,000 grant from the CARC. I would entertain a motion, one way or the other.
So I see what you're saying, Scott, but where are you, I mean, with saying that, where are you thinking 58,000 should come from then? Like, where, you know, you're saying, okay, you don't wanna accept anything, but at the same time, where's the difference that we're gonna pay for it coming from?
We'll
The
have,
58,000.
yeah, all I'm asking right now, they offered us a $50,000 grant. We can, like she just explained, if we choose to accept that grant, it's there. If we decide not to do the project, no harm, no foul. But, so I guess we're at that point, either we accept their $50,000 grant or we reject their $50,000 grant.
Okay, I'll make a motion. Oh, Sorry, were you gonna make a motion?
No.
I'll make a motion to accept.
Okay, motion Patrick to accept.
Derek, were you gonna second that then?
You better second.
Derek Dempsey second.
Scott Meyer,
Yes.
Derek Dempsey,
Yes.
Felicia Patrick,
Yes.
Justin Gnomes,
Yes.
Kim Backer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Next item is recommend approval of a commercial property improvement application for the Sportsman's Cove.
Now we can go back to the bid.
We will.
Oh,
We will. We're gonna get both of your things done. Just relax.
sorry.
I make a motion to accept that.
Okay, motion Patrick to accept.
Second.
Second Justin Nelms.
Felicia Patrick,
Yes.
Kim Backer,
Yes.
Justin Gnomes,
Yes.
Derek Dempsey,
Yes.
Scott Meyer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, now to sort back out, we have an option to accept or reject bids for Anchor Park restroom in front of us. The low bid was $208,600 by Paulson's Incorporated out of Cozad, Nebraska. Currently, we have $100,000 from the Honick Charitable Trust. And we have accepted a $50,000 grant from the CARC from Sutherland. So we're about $58,600 short from the low bid. This is where we're at. You're granted. I don't, go ahead.
I'm waiting for your answer.
So I don't think we can build a bathroom for $58,000 or we'll ever have a chance to build a bathroom for $58,000. When you look at that park area, we've received a tremendous amount of grants to finish it the way it is now. A bathroom would help finish it up. I understand that our Keno funds are low right now. We're waiting for the reimbursement that's been submitted to the government for our portion of the last grant for the playground equipment. I would suggest at this point to pay the $58,600 out of infrastructure funds to get a bathroom done. Right.
Can you borrow the money and then repay it from future Keno funds?
That's what I was gonna ask, or can we, because it's not gonna get billed tomorrow.
No, well, actually, this is probably gonna be a 6-month project, so maybe by the end of the 6 months, the Keno money will be there.
$50,000 might be.
I mean, you could do that. If you're going to take it from Keno, designate it, it's from Keno. I don't like mixing and matching because Keno are technically restricted funds.
So at this point, to fund it, we would have to fund it with another account. Or we don't have to specify which account until we write the final check, when the final claim comes in. Correct?
You at some point will have to determine via a motion who's paying that $58,000.
But it won't be for 6 months, he said, so, and hopefully in a month, I would hope that our funding for the Keno
Sure.
is back.
No, I think you could clearly accept the
You can
bids.
Accept the bids.
You have the money. You're not, I
and
mean,
move forward
and
with
then
it.
move forward with accepting the 50,000, the 100,000. So you have 150. Pay whatever half. You know, if Paulson's asking for half, you clearly have enough money to pay that. When the second half is due, make a determination on where that money is coming.
At that time.
Yeah.
Derek, your thoughts?
I like that.
Justin?
I'm all for it. As a parent that has went and picked up my children that need to go to the bathroom, I'm all for having a restroom.
There's a porta potty. But I want a bathroom with running water.
Alicia?
I think that is a great one.
Who wants
yes.
to make the motion?
I'll make a motion.
Patrick motions to approve $208,600 from Paulson's for the bathroom bid, is that correct?
Correct.
Second.
Second Dempsey?
Derek Dempsey,
Yes.
Justin Gnomes,
Yes.
Kim Backer,
Yes.
Scott Meyer,
Yes.
Felicia Patrick.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Discussion and action on cleaning and videoing the sewer.
Just We did it last year, so it's just continuing program from last year.
Yes. It was unanimous. Sorry about that, Casey. You said this was like we did last year?
Yes, it's just continuing of the program. Last year we did, like 48,150, or we did, let's see, we did 9,630 linear feet for 21,668.
Where is that within
What was it all now? Sorry. I was
the
looking at sales tax.
21,668?
Yeah, yeah, you're under.
I just,
Hey,
well, clarify that.
No problem.
speaking of that, Roy, did you know they raised that up to 90,000 now?
And did that go in effective July? Usually it's 3 months from the end of the session.
And I think it went in like 3 weeks ago.
Unless they have an emergency clause, I'd have to look at that.
But anyway, it's going
We're
up.
still at least 30.
Yeah, so you shouldn't have an issue.
And they've found issues every time that we've had to replace and refix, right? Or
So far, it's been looking pretty good.
But you've always figured out that,
Yes.
yeah, what's going on. So it's something that is a benefit to do.
Yes, it is benefit that way. If we do have something major happens, blow up somebody's house, we can go back. It's proved that it wasn't on our end.
Yeah, camera evidence
Yes.
showing it was clean at this date, this time.
And the federal government now is mandating that we have some kind of program in place now to prove that we're maintaining our sewer system.
It would be at sewer, it's tied to the sewer.
Make a motion to let Casey move forward with the sewer cleaning and videoing. And the funds come out of the sewer department.
Motion back.
Second.
Second, Nelms.
For 21,668, correct?
Correct.
Derek Dempsey,
Yes.
Justin Nelms,
Yes.
Kim Backer,
Yes.
Scott Meyer,
Yes.
Felicia Patrick.
Yes.
Motion carries.
And if I may, on a point of clarification, I did confirm it will not go into effect until July 18th.
Okay, that's fine.
Next item, discussion and action on stamp purchase for the office.
Last year at about this time, the office got permission, we purchased 36 rolls of stamps. They were 73 cents a stamp then. We spent $2,628. We have 8 rolls of those stamps remaining. As of July 12th, they will go up to 82 cents. We go through quite a lot, especially in the summer with nuisance letters going out. Would just like permission to purchase some that we can keep in the office before that price increase. Doesn't necessarily have to be the 36 rolls we bought last time. Just some that we can have here, so kind of keep our costs down on that.
Not gonna go down in price.
Yeah.
9 cents a stamp is quite a bit for a jump.
Well, they took one jump, so currently they're 78 cents. That went into effect in January, and in July they're jumping again.
And I heard that after that, they were going to really.
Yeah, and that's what I had heard also. So
No Christmas
and
items?
we're cutting down some on the nuisance with having the door tags hung, but we still I think are required to send the letter, and then that also includes our delinquent notices that get sent out. Postcard rate has gone up some, but not very much for our billing. It's just we go through a lot of stamps and claims. We are switching as many as we can over to online pay, but we still mail a lot of checks.
Would this be why most every other utility company charges you a paper statement fee?
I would assume so, yes.
The Great Plains is $5.
I know most utilities charge a paper statement fee.
We are encouraging as many people as possible to get an email bill. I think we're up to like a little over 200 now that I send, between 200 and 300 that we send email only of our 548. So we're cutting it down. But some people like to have that paper bill.
I have them on my desk, so I know when I need to pay bills.
So everybody think of allowing the office to buy some stamps.
I don't have a problem with it, and I think we need to go double the amount, I'm sorry. It's just, because I think it's gonna go up again in 2 months.
How long did you, well, you said you bought 32, you got 8 left.
Yep,
So we
in
used
May of
24 in how long?
from May of 2025 until now.
So 24 rolls in a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, if somebody's brave and wants to throw a number of rolls of stamps to allow the office to purchase, I would entertain a motion.
Motion to purchase 35 rolls of stamps.
Motion back.
Second.
Second, Justin Mills.
Kim Backer,
Yes.
Scott Meyer,
Yes.
Derek Dempsey,
Yes.
Felicia Patrick, Justin Nelms.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Discussion on street repairs for Walnut Street north of the school.
Yes, do we wanna do some more like we did last summer on the street there where it's all dipped in?
Was that kind of right next to where we did last year?
Yeah,
Just 5,000.
to the south of it.
Yeah. just-
Well, there's a couple of panels to the north of that was gonna do, and then most of it was gonna be to the south of it.
This is, it shows 140 foot by 11 foot,
He figured out it come, if you remember, he thought it was 14 panels.
14 pounds.
But you can see how big of a difference it made just a little bit last year.
It was
Significant.
Yes.
So this year, I guess, just to recap a little bit on our street expenditures, we did crack sealing.
Yes.
And that was 27,000 roughly.
Right in there.
And then we had authorized an additional 3,000 or 4,000
So
to
it was
finish off,
23 and another 4, so it was
Okay.
like 27, 28.
just less than 30. But other than that, this year, that's only street maintenance we did. And our highway allocation is roughly 102,000. Is that right, Bonnie?
Right about there, yeah. That's what it was last year anyway, so.
And this could come out of the infrastructure.
Yeah, the infrastructure, streets either way. But the streets gets, our highway allocation came in.
We got a portion of it,
Comes in portion.
Okay.
yep, and now that the audit has been submitted and finalized, they're supposed to be releasing what had been held. So we've got one deposit yet, and then an email saying that I think there are 3 more coming in.
Do you have a time frame on when he would do this, if he did it?
I think he could start like real quick.
If you're gonna open that up, I guess 4th of July is always an important day in Sutherland.
Yes.
And that's school construction right there, so. I
This
would-
will be north of that, so.
I know, but
yes.
still, you're going,
Yeah.
but I don't have a problem doing it. I was just kind of wondering if you can ask if it would be done and finalized before the 4th, or if you could wait till after.
Yep, I can do that. That's not an issue.
Yeah, so I'll make the motion to approve another load with the 22,625 on the repair Walnut Street.
Motion back.
Second.
I don't know what count.
Highway allocation.
The street count.
Street funds.
I'll still second.
Okay. Justin Nelms,
Yes.
Felicia Patrick,
Yes.
Scott Meyer,
Yes.
Kim Backer,
Yes.
Derek Dempsey.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Thank you.
Approve or deny a large animal permit for 530 McKinley Street.
Oh, Casey.
Well, I went and looked, and they have chickens, they got 5 chickens, and they have 2 goats. My concern is, I know they're 4-H projects, that I don't know, having goats in town is a good idea, cause after goats, probably pigs, after pigs, probably elephants, and where do you stop, you know?
I don't think elephants are 4-H projects, but I don't know.
Well,
But Casey's got a very good point, because in the ordinance, it doesn't say what size a lot a 4-H project needs to be deemed. So,
Up to you.
And my question too is, do the kids have to be 4-H age, things like that?
they got one that's, I believe she said 6.
Kindergarten.
They have-
Nothing in our ordinance
Yeah.
states
nothing
that
in our ordinance.
Right.
states
you
that
have to be
age.
4-H
But-
with your questions.
But if this says it's for 4-H,
I think she has one
it
that's,
should,
is it 8, 6, and 1 that they have now?
he's a kindergartner.
Yeah.
He's not even.
Okay.
Yeah.
But when we built this many years ago, it's a mag, so it ultimately is up to you guys whether or not you allow for it.
So we'll,
Cause what's the thing, what's to stop somebody saying that, I'm bringing 3 pigs in, they're 4-H pigs, raise them up for 3 months, where they're big enough to butcher them, butcher them. That gives you 3 months to feeding them in your backyard.
Because we have nothing in the ordinances that they have to prove that they're in a 4-H group.
Yes.
They have to tell them that
Those questions you can ask, though. There's nothing preventing you from asking all of those things. You know, all 4 years, that's what pretty much.
We could change their ordinance to.
oh, we changed that.
Oh, sure.
We can do a lot of things with that ordinance.
so I guess the cleanest way, let's go over the chicken permit first. So we have a chicken permit for 530 McKinley Street. Casey, you said they had 5. they had
5 chickens, food, water, shelter, I have no problems with it.
Okay. So in front of us is a chicken permit for 530 McKinley. Entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the chickens.
Motion Patrick. Second Helms.
Scott Meyer,
Yes.
Derek Dempsey,
Yes.
Felicia Patrick,
Yes.
Justin Nelms,
Yes.
Kim Backer.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. Next item in front of us is 530 McKinley Street, a 4-H permit for 2 goats, and it states they will be gone after fair.
They do have food, they do have shelter, so that criteria part of it's met.
Is any of them billy goat?
I did get down there
Those are the sneaky ones.
and, yes, these are just little itty bitty guys, but, I just probably, whatever happens on this one tonight, I think, the board needs to revisit this at a later date, and so we're not having the whole town full of goats and pigs.
Okay.
Cause my big concern, like you said, the smell in 3 months, a hot day, the neighbors start complaining, but then what do? Cause you allow them in there, and then you're dealing with flies and all the other good stuff.
The
that comes
ordinance,
with it.
and the ordinance does state that upon complaint from any neighboring residences, the permit can be revoked and the animals must be disposed of, so.
We've got that in there.
So there's some teeth in it, but this is in front of us. We can always revisit this.
This is the laws of business.
Yes, this is what's in front of us right now. So I guess I would entertain a motion. Jim?
Hey, I got a question on this pig business. Like you said, they feed them out and butcher them. To replace them, they'd have to go through a permitting.
And you
right?
permit.
That's what I was.
Yeah, cause then they just, next spring, they do the same thing, fair's coming up, we're doing fair pigs again, you know? So it'd just be a never ending cycle.
That you stop them.
Yeah. Stop it before it starts.
If we, Casey, I hate to do this to you, but could we put a contingent upon visits, random visits, to make sure that
Maybe adding to what's already in ordinance.
Yeah, you're kind of looking at it as like a conditional use permit, I see what you're doing, but that's not really how it's.
yeah, that's why I was asked. But it does state in there, as soon as they have somebody that objects to it because of an issue with flies or the smell or something, we would revisit it, so it's already in there.
Revoked, absolutely,
Okay,
and the reality is you still have nuisance ordinances too, which you could shut it down.
Do you have to approve this on what's on here right now?
You could table it and request additional information. That's up to you.
Thank you, Justin.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Any other discussion by the board? Jim?
I think it says, contact surrounding neighbors, so if they don't want pigs next door, they can sure bitch about it.
I'm gonna come back.
So, I'll entertain a motion.
unfortunately, I think we do have to give them a chance, because the farm is there, the ordinance is there, and everything else. We're showing them that they're not.
So is that a motion by her?
It's a motion.
Motion Backer,
Second.
second Dempsey.
Alicia Patrick,
Start with me.
I'm gonna vote no.
Kim Backer,
Yes.
Justin Nelms is absent, Derek Dempsey,
Yes.
Scott Meyer.
Yes.
The thing about it is, there is an out. There is an out. But the neighbors have to come in and sign the little complaint.
I understand that, but, so then can we put it on the agenda to revisit the ordinance?
Yes.
at the
So,
next meeting?
would you do that at Felicia's request? And that's what, 92, what ordinance is that? 92.02 on our next agenda?
Mhm.
All right, so those two permits have been handled. We have claims presented. The Lincoln County Court, that's half of our law enforcement.
Yep, that is the second half.
NDWEE Fiscal Services.
That is, yeah, it's sewer bond.
Does Russell come out of you?
It comes out of the-
It comes out of the economic development, it just combines all claims on one.
Sounds
And beverage is coming out of infrastructure. That you'd approved the claim, I had not written the, or I wrote the check, but it was, not on a claims list, so it's on this claims list.
So any other additions or corrections? If not, I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion Patrick. Second Back.
Derek Dempsey,
Yes.
Justin is absent, Kim Backer, Scott Meyer,
Yes.
Alicia Patrick.
Yes.
Motion
just-
carries.
To verify while we're on claims, we will see the last claim for the swim pool bond on our next claim, correct?
Got the paperwork FedEx to me, so it is $100,000 even, and it will be the last full bond payment.
Very good. Thank you, Lonnie. Payroll reports provided along with the co-op sick vacation report. guess with that, is there any comment from the audience?
Back on the front page when you were approving last, the minutes from last time, if you look at the date on there, it says May 27th, which is today, and you
Oh.
should have approved May 13. I was holding up my hand, I guess it wasn't at the right time, but, I don't know how you would
Oh,
address
sorry.
that at this time.
Oh, I see.
So the minutes are correct. I read off the agenda a typo of May 27th.
Gotcha.
It should be May 13th.
Yeah.
And I would recommend doing is at the next meeting, just approve, reiterate that you approved at this meeting the minutes of May 13th, just so it's clear.
Because the minutes are correct.
The minutes are correct. It's
But
in
the
it's in
agenda
there.
is correct.
Well, and then the minutes from this time will also be in error, because you voted to approve the May 27th.
So we'll have to clean that all up on the next agenda,
Yeah.
just so.
I was trying to catch it for you, but doggone it.
I didn't catch on it.
Well, no, God, look at me, when you call on me, I thought, well, nothing else to do right now.
Trenda, do I need to teach you how to speak up?
Well, I'm sitting here, this is
Bye,
not a
guys.
speak up chair, this is a shut up until you're told you can speak chair.
No, I think
That's a speak up chair up there.
No, I think I was at a meeting the other day that somebody finally said, does she ever shut up?
Oh, well, I would not do that, so.
Any other public comment tonight?
Thank you, Trenda.
Okay, so we are going to.
Can we
What's
do
Oh,
can we do
sorry.
our reports so that she doesn't have to?
Sorry about that. So let's have some reports. Casey.
Swimming pool's up and running. Haven't had too many major problems, so that's a good thing. We're full swing mowing, about up. Weed eating, nuisance letters are going out in the morning, so I'm sure there'll be some unhappy people, but other than that, everything's going pretty smooth.
Casey, what's the temperature of the pool?
It is a balmy 78 degrees.
Okay. I got a text today from
We get it every year.
Yes,
The
I
problem
got it the
is,
same text
everybody
last
wants
year.
it their hot tub temp.
85.
Uh,
Yeah.
So do what?
But that way I can respond
We
back.
get over
Did you have it?
75 and we just burn through the chemical.
It's a 78 degrees.
Yes.
That's, 74 to 75, you double your chemical usage.
Yes.
So,
Here in another week or two, we won't even have the furnace on because, and then it gets too hot.
That's totally fine. I just wanna.
Yeah, we go
respond
through it
back
every year.
correct.
I was asked that, today when I was over too.
our pool as kids growing up, they had a big enough crack in the bottom there for water all the time, so it's 58 degrees in the pool. All right, Bonnie, do you have anything for us?
Just want to let the board know that 6 regions, 1 Nebraska, that I have been communicating back and forth with, and I brought them a couple of things to the board. They have scheduled a meeting along with JDO Consulting, Hershey, Paxton, Sutherland. They're going to use our meeting room to discuss housing needs in the area, and have asked if we wanted to invite any community members or the board that would like to be there. On Rory's advice, I will be posting it as a work session just in case we have more members of each board that want to show up, so that there is a quorum. June 4th at noon, and they apparently are bringing food.
Can you post that as a work session for both the cart board and the village board?
Yeah, and that's what I was going to ask Rory is, can I just put there that there may be quorum of multiple boards?
I think you need
'Cause-
to identify. them.
Okay.
Just-
Will I need
just to be safe.
Chamber of Commerce will be coming? Will they have to post their own, or should I include that on there? Just
Chambers aren't.
okay.
That's not us.
Okay, I will get that posted. Other than that, we are, accountants changes were imported. It undid some of the reconciliations. We are working on getting those all done again. Everything else seems to be going okay in the office so far, so I think we only had a couple of shut-offs this month. And they were in, as soon as Casey and Cody went and shut their water off, they showed up. So,
On that, the reconciliation with the accountant's copy that comes in, can we reach out to Bob? if he needs to come up for a day to show us if it's something the software's doing, so we can not have you have to go through so much work.
When I imported it, popped it up and it said this will roll back reconciliations on these accounts, and it listed most of the accounts. So I kind of had a panic moment this morning when I did that, but it's all entered. It doesn't take really all that long to go through. It's just having to do several months over and over again. Did find out that last year's stack was probably 200 or so errors that they had to adjust. This year there were 76. Cameron says from the way things are looking, there may be a couple things here and there that need to be adjusted, but everything else is going in smoothly now that they've got all the hiccups from a couple years ago fixed. So that should fix it.
I went to the Legion meeting. They are no longer wanting to do something with the building. They are wanting ideas for fundraising. We came up with quite a few. Somebody in the community has stepped up to donate some items, an item, to raffle off. The other ideas that they came up with were, unfortunately, the Legion is like any other community board around here. They have 4 or 5 people that do all the work, and everybody else take all the credit. So I think they're having a meeting in June, and they'll move forward with raffle ideas. And because that doesn't take that much time to do it, but that only alleviates a little bit of the issue. I didn't realize that the $75 or $65.
55.
Thank you. 50, only 10 of it stays at the Legion. So everything else is a moneymaker, has to be a moneymaker. And came up with some ideas about putting their calendar out on when the Legion is available to rent with the fees and stuff. Maybe we can put that on our Facebook page or our website and move forward with doing something like that. But they have to make the calendar. The biggest complaint was people didn't want their names on it. I said, the name doesn't have to be on it. It just has to say available or unavailable. They were good with that. Like I said, my mouth was working. But we did have quite a people. There was a few people or one person that stepped up and said they would donate Nebraska football tickets possibly. But so I'll go to the next Legion meeting. I do believe it's in my calendar. And we will finalize some things because they need some funds. And hopefully it will happen. So I'm going to come back and ask that somebody sell 50, 60 raffle tickets. Okay. But we just need to figure out how much we're going to sell raffle tickets for. So Casey will be shelling out some cash. I'm just gonna tell you. So, okay. Went up to the swimming pool today, talked to quite a few people. They were worried about the wimpy feet, explained the wimpy feet to them, and they went, okay. Because they didn't have any suggestions about more picnic tables up there or anything like that. Realized that they didn't want us to purchase new chairs. They would bring their own and might have a couple of extra because one lady didn't realize how much we paid. So, but it's pretty up there. It's nice. That grass out back behind is coming in good. So that's it.
Very good. Derek. Tiffany, thank you for coming tonight. Appreciate that. When we get work session scheduled, we'll holler at you as well.
Yes.
Work through this. Frank, is the same with you. So,
Hey,
Cypher, very kind. So the deadline for parade theme is June 1st. I went ahead and posted it on my Facebook page. I because the internet was, whatever, not working, I wasn't able to get to the chamber page, but also put it in paper. So basically, if you submit the winning theme, you get $50, okay? So I won it one time, so anyway, but it has to go by US mail to Jean and Linda Tasey. So I'm going to mail mine and then send them an email and tell them what I said, so make sure they get it. The other thing is, last year, the village clerk's office offered to help us with parade entry forms, and I would be very happy to bring some in if they would be willing to do that.
We absolutely can set them out like we would for anybody in the
That
community.
worked just fine last year, and I was grateful for that. It's just a way to get people, when they go ahead and pay the bill, get signed up for that rate. So we wanna get those done like Monday
Okay,
or Tuesday, we're pretty
Yep.
close.
we can set them out for people to grab.
Okay,
Very good.
all right, thank you.
Okay, so at this time, the board,
Mr. Chair, if I may,
Yes, please.
I would request the board go into executive session for the reason of discussion of potential litigation, and discussion of the proposed change.
okay, so I would entertain a motion to, for the board to enter into executive session for reasons of potential litigation. Motion back. Second Patrick.
Okay, Justin is absent. Felicia Patrick.
Yes.
Scott Meyer.
Yes.
Kim Backer. Derek Dempsey.
Yes.
Motion carries.
So it is 7:21, the board will enter into executive session for reasons of potential litigation. No action will be taken in executive session. 7:21 p.m.
What's that?
Time.